Hello everyone, this is the finale of Half Psukim. I'd like today to share with you a few opinions that basically said, forget about all these heterim, say the full pasuk. So let's start with the Aruch HaShulchan that we already quoted. The Aruch HaShulchan says that Friday night, the best thing to do is to start Kiddush with Vayar Elokim et kol asher asa v'hinei tov me'od, Vayihi erev, Vayihi voker, Yom HaShishi. Say the full pasuk, don't worry about that medrash that says Tov me'od means death, with due respect. Saying a full pasuk is more important than a medrash, and therefore you should say the full pasuk. Indeed, that was the practice of Rav Soloveitchik, as is recorded by Rav Shechter. And we already quoted the Iyun Tefillah on the Otzar Tefillot, the big fat book of davening, that basically says that's the way to understand the Zmira that many sing Friday night, Kol Mekadesh Vi. It says there, Tehorim, Yikachu v'yirashuhu, the pure ones will sanctify the day and eventually inherit the day. How? B'ma'amar kol asher asa, by saying kol asher asa. Those words, kol asher asa, is only in the Kiddush if you start with the words Vayar Elokim et kol asher asa from the beginning of the pasuk. And if you look in the Siddur of Rav Yaakov Emden, you will see that indeed in that Siddur it says explicitly that you start with Vayar Elokim et kol asher asa v'hinei tov me'od, and eventually you say the words Yom HaShishi. He only says to say most of the pasuk quietly, and Yom HaShishi to say out loud. Rav Soloveitchik was very machmir on this, and indeed, in the book Nefesh Harav that Rav Shechter wrote, he writes that during Hagbah, he would only say V'zot Torah Shesam Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael, that's a full pasuk, but he would not say Al Pi Yad Hashem, Al Pi Hashem B'Yad Moshe, because that's half a pasuk. And he continues to say, in a book called Mipnine Harav, also written by Rav Shechter, that in his shul, he wasn't just machmir on psukim from the Torah, but also from Ktuvim. He didn't accept that heter from the Magen Avram, the name of the Kolbo. And therefore, the Chazan for Pesukei de Zimra, when he got to Atahu Hashem Elokim Asher Bachalta Be'Avram, that's the end of a pasuk, that's where the Chazan would end. And then he would continue, he didn't say like most shuls, which is the beginning of a pasuk, and then everyone starts v'charoti mo'abrit. So, as you can see, Rav Soloveitchik was very machmir on this, to the extent that he brings an amazing story. And this is the story that he brings in Nefesh Harav. And he once gave in a manuscript, and in the manuscript, as was the Jewish custom, he wrote a pasuk, 2 words, and then he wrote Vav, Gimel, Vav, Chupchik, namely, Vegomer, finish the pasuk yourself. That's the way all the Jews have always written psukim. When they gave him back the manuscript, instead of the Gomer, they wrote 3 dots. And Rav Soloveitchik felt this is a problem. Because if you write the Gomer, you're telling the reader, finish the pasuk, say the full pasuk. Say the pasuk like Moshe Rabbeinu decided that it should be. But if you write 3 dots, it's just like saying, the pasuk. And he really felt it would be a violation. So not just a violation in recitation, but even in written documents. Rav Soloveitchik felt very strongly about this. For Shabbos Kiddush, Shabbos morning, you don't have to say any psukim, just Borei Pri Hagafen. But if you already say it, the Mishnah Berurah says, Shalo Kadin. You've seen people starting from Al Kain Beirach. You should say the full pasuk. So, say, Kishesh T'bi Masatem Shabbat of Ta'aretz at Yom HaKol Shabbat V'Yalach B'Yom HaShvi'i Al Kain Beirach Hashem et Yom HaShabbat V'Yikatshehu. Another one from Kiddush Levana, the Magen Avraham. In the name of the Mate Moshe, that you should not say in Kiddush Levana, Tipol Aleim Emata V'Fachat, Bigdol Zarachai Yidmuka Aven, and stop there, but rather say the whole pasuk. I admit, in any siddur I've ever looked in, I've never even seen that suggested, but happy to hear from you if you have. The same is true when we put back the Torah. Namely, you could say with the Chazan the words Yehalalu Shem Hashem Kini Skab Shmon Levado, and then chime in Hodu Al Eretz V'Shamayim. But why not say the full pasuk? Same thing on Shabbos morning. In that piyut we say after Kel Adon V'Yom HaShvi Mishabech V'Omer Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. That's a full pasuk. Tov Lahodot LaHashem. It's good to thank God. Finish the pasuk. 3 more words. Ulezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. No problem to finish the full pasuk. Same thing at a bris. You don't have to say just half a pasuk. Say with the moel, Ashrei tivcharu tekarev yishkon chatzerecha, and when everyone chimes in, you'll chime in too. Nishba b'tuv beitecha ketosh echalecha. Beyond those, there are 2 exceptions that always happen. Namely, even those that will say full psukim and are very makbid. 2 exceptions. Everybody holds by, and they say half a pasuk. And that is, number one, the shofarot. I have seen nobody that says at the end of shofarot to say the real pasuk. Namely, at the end of shofarot, we say a pasuk that starts with the words Ve'Hashem alehem yira'eh ve'yatzak yebarak chitzo Ve'Hashem elokim b'shofar yitka v'halach b'sa'arot teman Hashem tzvakot yagein alehem, and then the pasuk continues with Ve'achlu ve'chavshu something or another. I've seen many machzorim, and every machzor ends with an inverted words that have not been written in any pasuk, and that is Ken taged l'amcha Yisrael b'shlomecha, so too you shall secure the Jewish people. And the second exception, most notable, is the Yud Gimel Midot, namely the 13 attributes of mercy. Everywhere, people say Hashem, Hashem, etc., till the words v'chata'a v'nakeh. No one goes on and continues to the end of the pasuk, and I think the reason is very simple. If you do, it defeats the purpose. The purpose of saying Yud Gimel Midot is that God should forgive us. God told Moshe Rabbeinu, as recorded in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, that when the Jewish people sin, if they do the Yud Gimel Midot, not just say it, but actually practice it, but obviously say it and practice it, then they will be forgiven. Well, if you say V'nakeh and you shall be clean, it sounds great. But if you say the full pasuk, it's going to come out to V'nakeh lo yenakeh. God will not clean you. Not just you, al banim v'al b'nei banim v'al shilishim v'al ribeim, for many generations to come. So we don't want to say that. And therefore everybody there says half a pasuk, and they use all the eterim that we spoke about. So as you can see today, many are machmir on this, except for those two exceptions that I mentioned, namely at the end of shofarot and the Yud Gimel Midot. With this we conclude the series of half psukim, and be'ezrat Hashem, as we get into a time in which we are going to daven, and daven even more. In this month of Elul, I hope and pray that indeed we'll also look not just at the quality of davening, but the actual content of davening, and see the psukim and ask ourselves, why are they there, and why are they half, and what does it mean?